Hey friends, it's Mike here at Guitar Tricks. I'm starting a new series here, a 5-part series on a practice routine for 5 days, 30-minute sessions. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell. And while you're at it, hit that like button. It would really help out. Now, back to the lesson. All right, so let's get started with day 1. And the first thing I'm going to do is a chromatic warm-up for 5 minutes. You've probably seen an exercise like this before, but we've got the index finger on the 5th fret of the low string, and then we're going to follow that with the middle finger on the 6th fret, ring finger on the 7th, and the pinky on the 8th fret, all on the low string. And we're going to go up the strings playing that pattern. Okay, once we get to the top, we move up 1 fret and play the same pattern coming back down. We just work our way up the fretboard and give it 5 minutes, a nice little warm up to get those fingers moving. All right, the next thing I would practice in a 10-minute little block here is working on some really tough chord shapes and just working on getting your fingers on and off the chords. Okay, so for beginners, it might be an open chord. For some players with a little more experience, it might be bar chords or a really tough stretch type of chord. All of those situations can use this method. So I'm going to use an open C chord for an example. I've got the 3rd fret of the 5th string, 2nd fret of the 4th string, open 3rd string, 1st fret of the 2nd string, and the open high E string. Now the way to practice this or any chord is to put your fingers on there and check every note to make sure that it's ringing out nice and clearly. So you can see I've got some problem areas here. So you have to figure out how to curl the fingers, maneuver the fingers, experiment, do whatever you got to do to get those notes poking out nice and clean. Once you figure out how to do that, make a note of how your fingers are arranged on the fretboard and then shake it off. And then go right back to that and see if you can get it quickly. So what we want to do in this exercise is the repetition of putting your fingers on that chord and getting it right every time you put your fingers on. And it's that repetition is going to burn away the resistance that you feel when you're not getting it cleanly at first. So like I said, you can work on this with 1 chord that you're having problems with or a number of chords and just take 10 minutes to really work through that. All right, next 10-minute chunk, I'm going to pull out the metronome and we're going to set up a click and we're going to work on some picking and we're going to pick subdivisions against this click. So the way the click is going right now, it's in quarter notes. So I can count it 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm just going to grab the 5th fret of the low string and work on my picking 1 pick per click. Down, up, down, up. Then move up a string. Okay, work on that for a few minutes and you're really going to sharpen your timing. But now let's switch to 8th notes. So now we're going to do 2 picks per click. It's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Right? Work on that for a few minutes. Now go to 8th note triplets. That's 3 picks per click. It's going to sound like this. Triplet, 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 triplet. Work on that for a few minutes. And then finally the 16th notes, 4 picks per click. It's going to sound like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. etc., making your way up and down the strings, working on that timing. All right, so for the final 5 minutes, I'm going to do a little trill exercise, which is just straight technique, burning it into my fingers. This is the exercise here, starting off the 5th fret of the high string. Okay, I'm working on my hammer-ons and pull-offs with each finger, okay? Of course, you can work on this on any string all over the neck, but do 5 minutes, and the faster you go, the more you're going to be working the strength and the stamina of your fingers to be able to do this. If you go nice and slow, you'll be working on the actual technique of hammer-ons and pull-offs, which is great if you're new to the technique. So there you have it. There's day 1 for a 30-minute little guitar workout. Of course, you want to be putting this alongside working through a progressive course or working on songs. And those things are going to inform the kind of things that you're going to want to work on in this 30-minute targeted practice. What other tips would you like to see here on this channel? Please leave a comment and let me know. And be sure to check out guitartricks.com for more in-depth, step-by-step lessons. We'll see you for day 2.